when we reached Little Swains Island, which was a venture all on its own, I won't get into it, my biggest decision each morning when I woke up was to decide if I wanted to wear long pants and long sleeves and sweat and get a rash, or I could wear cool shorts and a nice cool tank top or something and just be attacked by mosquitoes all day. And as I was getting ready each morning, I thought how unlikely it is for a girl like me from a small town in Grants Pass, Oregon, who used to work at a nail salon, to now be on this international expedition. But here I was, digging holes in the jungle and taking water samples from the lagoon. On our last day, as I was going back to camp, I came across the archaeologists that were excavating an area, and I walked up and started asking questions, and they were excavating a traditional home, and all that's left of it is a foundation of rocks, in Samoa it's called a fale. And so I looked at my memory map that we were all working off of, that the former inhabitants of the island had made, and I noticed that on the map there was a Suka fale. So I happen to know the Suka family. My daughter's grandfather was born and raised on Swains Island.
What?
And they just happened to be excavating the Suka fale.
Oh, wow.
I was standing there on this historical place. And it really made me think how far I had come from my home to be on this little island. So this whole expedition started for me with an email from my advisor. He wanted to know if I could respond to this inquiry about sea level change, which I happen to know quite a bit about because I was doing my master's and I was studying sunken cities in Greece. So sea level change had a lot to do with cities going underwater. So my response to that email earned me a spot on this research team. And this opportunity was one of many that I was able to take advantage of because of the confidence I had gained, partly through the support of the Jeanette Rankin Foundation. There are a lot of scholarships out there, probably millions. I applied to probably thousands of them because that's the only way I could get through college. But the Jeanette Rankin Foundation was the only one that followed up with me each year to see how I'm doing. And then even after I graduated, and here I am today. So that kind of support means a lot. And one thing I want to say about the scholarships is, as an adult woman who hasn't been in the classroom or written an essay or taken a standardized test for years, for me decades, how was I going to compete with my peers who are coming out of high school or who are already in college, and they're already in that train of thought, they're already in that system, so to come back to that is extremely difficult. And on top of that, I'm raising 2 daughters and I'm working full time. So Jeanette Rankin Foundation gave me a chance, and then they kept giving me more every year to make sure that I reached my goal. And that's really important because as I progress through college, your classes get more difficult. There's more demands on your time and energy. And so that last couple years is extremely hard to just keep pushing because it doesn't get any easier. It does get harder. So it was such a relief every year to know that the Jeanette Rankin Foundation was there for me and I could finish what I started. And like Karen was saying, having someone in your corner who believes in you can make such a big difference in your life. Because times do get tough. Your classes are hard, your kids are sick, your car broke down, and just knowing that there's a group of women that believe in you enough to support you all the way to the finish line is really significant. And I'm super grateful for that opportunity.